Hi, it's Starla from Starla's Creative Teaching Tips, and this is going to be respiration part 2. All right. Now, the second part of the respiratory system is really quite simple. All right. So in the first part, we talked about this amazing tubing and how it's protected. And then we go to the bronchioles. And then as these bronchioles branch, they get smaller and smaller. All right. Primary, secondary, tertiary bronchioles. They get smaller and smaller. We can use this as an example. Grapes. Yeah, look at that. See? So here is a tertiary bronchiole. And then we're going to get down here and see how it's going to branch. And then it branches into the grape. That's called the terminal bronchiole. And then this grape represents our alveoli sac. And so the job of the upper respiratory is to clean the air and get it down into these smaller bronchioles and then into this alveoli sac. Okay, now we're in the alveoli sac. Let's look at it. And remember, don't be intimidated by epithelial tissue. It is what it looks like. For example, this is what it looks like. Now look at this. This is one layer, simple. Flat cells, squashed, squamous. So these are simple squamous. Now this is inside the alveoli sac. For example, I built one out of clay. See it? There it is. Now notice it's got a blue side and a pink side. And that's the capillary that's going to go around it. All right? All right, now notice as the capillary comes into the lungs, it has deoxygenated blood. Now, I only use blue because textbooks use blue, but we know deoxygenated blood is not blue. I know it appears that way through our skin, but that's just the way the light hits our maroon colored blood and bounces back. So it's really maroon color. And then notice that carbon dioxide jumps off because it's high to low. And then oxygen, which you got down into those lungs, sure enough, takes its place and jumps on the red blood cell and will turn it a really pretty red. That's what happens in all of those sacs. Now, this is what's really neat. If we were to take every alveoli sac in your lung and flatten it out, it would cover the tennis court. Look at that. So 3/4 of a tennis court is your lungs. Now, I blued out right here. That doesn't count. So this is how much, if I were to flatten out all the alveoli in an average adult lung, it would cover 3/4 of a tennis court. That's amazing, right? Okay, so that's it. Now, let's talk about some pathology. In fact, most of this video is going to be pathology. And I am trying, very, very hard not to be preachy because I know I don't like people telling me what to do either, all right? Okay, so watch this. You guys have heard of asthma before, right? All right. Well, people that have asthma have a hypersensitivity, okay? And so what happens is those bronchial branches, they do this. And it could be an allergy that kicks them off. But just imagine breathing through here. Just take your hand about the size of a $50 and breathe through it. That's easy, right? But somebody that has an asthma attack, now close it off about the size of a straw. Now here we go. They have a hard time getting air into their lungs because their bronchioles begin to collapse. It's called bronchial constriction. So we give them epinephrine. And you'll see them in a pump, or we may have to do a breathing treatment, or we may have to inject it. And that opens up, that relaxes the muscles in the bronchial tube and opens them up. And now they can breathe. So people with asthma, that's why they have that pump, is to keep those bronchial tubes open. Okay, now let's talk about some enemies, all right? The enemy of the alveoli is anything that can get down into the alveoli and block that exchange. See, for example, there's no way oxygen and carbon dioxide can go across this blockage. Now, if this blockage, if this obstacle is mucus or fluid, then that person has pneumonia. Okay, still can't breathe. All right, what happens if this blockage is created by, and it's a junk, it's like a tarry brown stuff that looks like, I don't know, it's black, it's nasty looking, it's smoking. Yeah, because the breathing mechanism, the cleaning mechanism has been broken because of the smoking. Then that junky brown stuff fills up these alveoli sacs, and look, can't work. Yeah. All right. Oh, let's talk about vaping. All right. Now I know some of you are like, oh, here it comes. Well, I just want to tell you this, right? You are the guinea pigs of the vaping industry. And history repeats itself. This looks very similar to what happened with the whole smoking industry. Okay? They're selling you this idea that vaping is safer than smoking. Now notice this, ready? Safer than smoking. It didn't say it was safe. They don't say it's safe. They say it's safer than smoking. Okay? Which I'm gonna argue. Ready? Here we go. So when they told you you're just breathing in water vapor, but you're also breathing in nicotine, and nicotine is a cancer-causing agent. I don't care how you take it in. Whether you smoke it, you chew it, it's a cancer-causing agent. But that flavoring, which also eats your teeth up, okay, by the way, but that flavoring, and then a lot of that, there's also heavy metals. We're finding lots of heavy metals. So that stuff is doing the same thing. It is coating and killing these alveoli. So there's no exchange. That's a fact. So is it safer than smoking? It does the same thing. In fact, not only does it do the same thing, but it does it faster. That's alarming. All right. So watch this. When there's no welfare in the human body. So when an alveoli sac is now full of junk and it can no longer do gas exchange, white blood cells come to the area and eliminate it. See, that's gone. And it's gone here. And look down here. Gone. Never to be replaced. So if I have somebody who's a smoker and they've been smoking for like 7 to 8 years and they quit, they feel better, now they work out, they exercise, they think their lungs have healed. Okay, well, yeah, the cleaning mechanism is healed, but these alveoli are gone. And so they have microscopic, right here, holes in their lungs. Okay? Same thing for vaping, but not 7 to 8 years of vaping, maybe 5. Yeah. So what happens is, remember those lungs we were talking about, that tennis court? Okay, so in a 5-year smoker, let's say we lost 1 complete service area. Yeah, it's gone. Faster in vaping. Then we got another one. Look at that. See it? So the longer somebody smokes or vapes, the quicker they lose their surface area. And when you get down about right here, and you only have this much surface area left in your lungs, we say you have what's called COPD. And it's obstructive, all right, which means because there was an obstruction here and these fell out, yeah, you can't get oxygen down into your lungs, so you can't get oxygen to your body. And all kinds of bad things happen there, all right? So I want you to see how important it is that you understand smoking. All right, so let's just say that it only took $7 a pack, and I'm a pack-a-day smoker, so that's $49 a week. And then I have, this is how much it cost per month, $196, good? And then $196 times a year, that's how much I spent smoking to get COPD, obstructive respiratory disorder, or atherosclerosis, so I can have a heart attack, a stroke, peripheral artery disease, lung cancer, mouth cancer, oral cancer. I mean, I'm just lining up the list of things I can have. Listen, The body doesn't normally get those things. So what happens is you're purchasing. It's like a layaway plan. You're purchasing so that you can have these problems later down the road, okay? And then look what happens after 5 years. Look how much I've spent to get those diseases. All right, let's do vaping. Vaping's a little cheaper. It's interesting to me. It's cheaper, but faster destroying your body, okay? But let's say on average, it's usually $10 to $40 a month. And then look what we get for, a week, and then we got a month, and then here's our year, and then here's our 5 year. Once again, it's interesting. It's cheaper to vape, but the damage is faster and quicker. So, not telling you, I'm just putting the facts in front of you for you to make good choices so that when you are 40 and 50 years down the road, you are hiking, you're playing tennis, you're playing pickleball, you're running around, you're having a great time. All right, I promise you right now, you stay active and you stay energetic and you keep making a positive difference in the world no matter what age you are. And try not to choose to do something that's going to limit you from doing those things. Okay? So make good choices. All right, that's our lesson, and I hope you had fun. And again, go out there, make a positive difference in the world. All right?